Hey again everybody, Tyler Parsons back again. Today I want to break down a little piece on stability with some of that movement, tell you about the importance. You know the routine, go on a hit pause, knock out that warm up, and let's get started. Stability in the golf swing is huge. That's going to set you up for that really big long drive, or to where you could possibly have some injuries, some tightness to the back, and a bunch of different things we just don't want. So there's no reason we cannot work on that stability, work on that separation, and basically all that is with stability is getting one piece to move while the other braces and does its intended job. So a lot of times what happens, say for example with the rotation, we really need for this upper body to stay still and be able to stabilize so that we can go on and rotate around and get that sequencing started. But again, a lot of you at home can't stabilize. So then we go on and start rotating. And what that's doing with that back is now it's working as one piece, and then we come through and it sort of likes to grab, gets irritated. And that's going to lead to some of those, again, lower back problems. So it's not necessarily all going to be about things to prevent lower back. I do have a video for that so you can check it out. But again, we're looking to help things fire. You know me, I love to be as efficient as we can. So what we're going to do for this first one is go down into a nice lunge. Now I'm sort of switching this up a little bit, and that our traditional lunge would be here to where we have the nice 90 by 90. I'm going to go on and go out further and try to keep this back leg a little bit straighter. And what that's doing is stretching into the quad, up into the hip flexors here, and then we're going to sort of drag it and come up. Once it's up, we're actually going to hold still and bring this down and out to the outside, okay? So I'll switch legs here and sort of show you from this view. Here I am, nice and tall, really stabilizing with that upper body, coming up, taking it out. The closer you can get to a mirror, the better you can sort of see this, so that as I'm coming up, again, all this should stay nice and still. If we're going here and moving around, no good, okay? Another thing to look for here is as I'm up and I'm rotating out, again, bracing not just in that midsection, but down and through those hips, so that I'm forcing this to have to open up in through the hip. I'm also working down, so we're stabilizing in that ankle, we're working on that balance, we're actually helping strengthen that quad while we work the range of motion and the stability of that midsection. So fantastic exercise. You can go through, do your set number, start basic. Start 5 on each leg. Again, it's going to stretch, it's going to strengthen, and more importantly, we're going to be working that stability. For the next one, you've seen a couple different variations that I do. Sky's the limit on what you want to do with this one, but we're going to go down to a plank. A plank's already going to help us obviously stabilize, okay? That's going to be great. I always love to do multiple things while we're stabilizing. So in the instance of a plank, we can go and rotate open. So now we're getting a little rotational aspect while I'm bracing down to that midsection. If you want to come down and through, you can see I'm actually rotating against this. This is great for that shoulder. It's having to stabilize while it also moves and works. So this is going to help with that back area as well. If you're the person that has some of those trigger points that have developed near those traps, again, go on and hammer that out. The other way that we can do this, you can use a resistance band, which I've used with Justin and some of the other players, or you can just do some punches. If you're doing the punches and alternating, again, watch. Do your best not to rock side to side, so it's nice and stable and still, and not like this. That's no good, okay? Again, key is to learn how to move efficiently while you make the correct muscles do their job, and don't let them do what they want to do. Make them do what you want them to do. It'd be very tough for me to make it through a video without throwing and doing something explosive. It's sort of what I'm known for. So we've got our nice little stability ball here. I have some different medicine balls down there. You really only need one or a partner, or you can use a band if you want to get that anchored. I have 3 because as I throw them, I'm not getting up, okay? What we want to do here is get seated, I'm gonna take my medicine ball and I wanna lift one leg up, okay? Do your best to get this as straight out as you can. That way we're engaging in through the hamstring and the quad, and now it becomes a lot of stability just to stay on the ball. But we're not done yet. We're gonna take the ball, we're gonna turn through and throw. So I'm not happy with that one because as I turned, I went on and sort of fell afterwards, okay? Then what we would do, same leg, but now I want to go to the other side and throw. And that was a really bad one. As you get the ball heavier, you're going to start to shift your center of gravity to sort of produce that force. So if you go too heavy right out of the gate, it's not going to like it and you're not going to be able to move. So you can see, there's very little power behind that, okay? This is something I need to spend a lot of time on myself. So a fantastic exercise for anyone at home. But again, this is my heaviest ball, 10. This one will be an absolute train wreck. So I've held up one leg, I've thrown each directions. Obviously, we're gonna sit and go both. If you really struggle with this one, start with both feet down, but move them together, okay? That's still gonna allow you to move, but be somewhat braced. This is great because again, we're having to work so much of that lower body, which is a key component in that Gosling and producing power. But then while we keep it still, we're having to rotate, okay? And this is actually, if we get efficient enough at it, this is going to help out with that rotation of the torso while we're doing it, okay? So improving that turn to where we have this nice full loaded backswing and we have a nice full follow through. So key little point with the follow through as well, a lot of you sort of lack, you can make a nice big coil, but as you come through, the range of motion sort of stops here. You're gonna say, okay, well the ball's already gone, but the body already started to slow down prior to getting here because it's smart and efficient as well and doesn't want you to get hurt. So we need you to go on and have that nice big finished coil, and that's where you see it looks like a lot of those longer players are actually spinning around the most in a circle. So another good exercise. So there you have it. There are 3 extremely good exercises to work on that stability. It's gonna help with the mobility, that's sort of a given. We're still gonna be working some of that strength, and as you build up and get good, which a lot of you may not be patient enough, you're gonna be producing a lot of power as you get better with those. So it's definitely something to go on and favorite. Again, if you haven't already, go on and subscribe down there. But take your time, make sure you're doing it correctly. Just watching these videos, unfortunately, is not magic. I have not figured that one out yet, but as soon as I do, you know where to find them. Thanks again, everybody. Let me know your questions, comments that you have.